The golden ticket is what I'm announcing. That's right. Like a good neighbor, my friends at State Farm are helping me give a select few the chance to virtually meet me, Sona, and of course, Gourley. But I want to just really emphasize me.
Oh,
You're going to
come on.
meet me and Sona and Gourley, and maybe even be featured right here on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. All right? Here's how it works. We're going to be releasing these golden tickets on Team Coco's Instagram, on TBS, and of course, right here on my podcast. You never know where these golden tickets are going to be, where they're going to show up. So you have to pay attention. Then when you see one, you have to act quick, or is it act quickly?
I think it's act quickly.
That's
Isn't it
what
an
I think.
adverb?
It says right here, act quick.
Oh, someone screwed up.
Exactly. Anyway, so you just might be one of the lucky few, all right? Head to teamcoco.com/golden ticket for more details. I want to make sure we talk about what you're up to now, because this project is so cool. It's spelled, it's Seasons, but it's SZNZ.
Yeah, so it's called Seasons, and there's spring, summer, autumn, and winter, and each one comes out on the first day of its respective season, and together they kind of all add up to something that feels like a whole. And each album has a primary emotion. Spring is optimistic, summer is angry, autumn is anxious, winter is sad. Each album has a primary genre. So spring is supposed to sound kind of like Island in the Sun. Summer is supposed to sound like alternative 90s rock. And autumn, which is about to come out, is like dance rock, Franz Ferdinand, is that sort of thing. And winter is like 90s singer-songwriter, Elliott Smith, that kind of thing.
That is such a great
That's
idea.
amazing.
That's an amazing
wow,
idea.
Thanks.
No, it
No
really,
one's
I
ever
mean,
said that.
well,
No one said
the
that?
three of us just all at the same time, and we don't agree on anything.
No.
But it's so funny how everyone in the room just now, Matt and Sona and Ed, all of us are just like, oh, that's just awesome. What a great idea. That really is. What inspired you?
Well, it all started with Dropbox because
Beethoven said the same thing.
I just every day I just write, and I don't think about where a song is going to go. I don't. It's just whatever sounds cool to me in the moment. But because of Dropbox, I would just sort them into these different folders, and well, this sounds kind of like dance rock, so I'll put it in this folder. Or this one sounds like 90s singer-songwriter, I'll put it over here. And everything was just all nice and neatly sorted, and everything had a home. And I didn't have to worry about, well, we're making this kind of album this year, so everything has to fit a particular sound. It just went to whatever folder it actually belonged in. And then I started thinking, like, well, what can I do with all this? How can I tie it together, or should I make 4 different albums, or what? And somehow I remembered of all these 4 seasons, and well, there's 4 seasons, and yeah, maybe we can kind of tie it together under that umbrella.
And so you release one. Is the whole project done now, and you're just waiting to release them in time, or no?
We're kind of doing it in real time. So
Wow.
we just turned in autumn, and it's going to come out. And obviously, what is it? September 21st. Yeah. So it's a very last minute, and for the fans, it's been fun to watch it all happen in real time. Watch Weezer scramble to meet the deadlines.
Did you find that you were angry when you were making summer?
I was definitely anxious when I was making autumn. No, yeah, I did feel. Maybe I was just noticing it because it was on my mind, but I have felt those emotions as I was making each album. I'm a little worried about winter now.
Yeah, you're gonna get sad.
Yeah, we're just starting that one now.
I could come by with like an ice cream cake.
Oh, no.
Well,
What?
but I need to be sad.
Yeah.
With an ice cream cake.
Well, it's not going to be a good. Here's the thing: it's not going to be a good ice cream cake.
Oh, okay. It'll
Yeah.
just make him more sad?
Yeah, and it's going to say "I hate you" on it.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, it's going to make him sad. You didn't let me finish. God, these guys jump in whenever I think I have a really good idea. They totally screw with me. It's not right. There was a revelation in the book that I found interesting because you were such a thoughtful person. I don't think your mind ever shuts off. You don't believe in therapy. You don't believe in in analysis.
I'm very cautious about it because it hasn't done no good to no one. I think it's one of the monumental mistakes of the 20th century, among many others. The big social utopias, communism, fascism have led to incredible disasters, overpopulation of our planet, and you just name it, destruction of what nature is. All of that started really in the 20th century. And one of the things that are one of the great mistakes of the 20th century is psychoanalysis. Of course, it started some decades earlier, but it really blossomed in the 20th century. And I do believe that the 20th century in its entirety was a mistake. And going back to psychoanalysis, I can give you a parable. When you move into a new home and you illuminate this home to its very last recesses and corners with neon lights, everything is illuminated. This house becomes uninhabitable. And human beings illuminated to the darkest corners of their soul become uninhabitable. I say it in quotes now. And you should be careful what you do. Of course, there are clinical cases and you better do it. But this mass phenomenon, to think that everything in your inner balance and in your soul and in your emotionality and so will be solved by psychoanalysis, I do not think it is a good approach.
It's funny because I think it's a byproduct of this obsession, and you live in Los Angeles, so you see this now. In the 21st century in Los Angeles, there's just this obsession with, I want to eat all the perfect foods. I want to make sure that I get all the perfect treatments. I want to achieve this perfect state of balance.
Yoga classes for 5-year-olds.
Well, they bend so easily.
But I'm the great defender of Los Angeles. Everybody chuckles and says,
I love Los Angeles too.
You think, the glitz and glamour of Los Angeles, but everything in the last half century somehow set the pace in the thinking and the trends of the world without, being completely trendy, originated here. The internet was born here. The internet, and I've seen the place where the first contact was made with routers and servers. Reusable rockets are being built in the perimeters of the city itself. A southern outskirt, but southern part of it. All the great painters are here.
I think the art scene here is very impressive.
They are not in New York anymore. That was early 50s or so. Now they are here. The writers, the mathematicians, also of course, the stupidities, crazy sects. Inline skating is fine, but
you're listening to Werner Herzog's list of what's in and what's out, what's hot and what's cold.
I'm very much beloved by skateboarders.
Oh, good, yeah.
There's a community of skateboarders.
It's good to have them on your side, yeah.
Yes, and they're on my side, and I'm on theirs because the futility and the insistence, try it again. You will do this jump up onto the railing of.
No, don't do that.
No, I'm too old for that, and I've done ski jumping and ski flying and almost died in doing that. But anyway, you do the wild stuff when you are young, but the crazy things also come from here. Originated here, and they have worldwide repercussions. It happens, and there's no other city. Does it happen in Chicago or in London or in Florence or in Mumbai or in Buenos Aires? No, it's Los Angeles. It's wonderful to live in a city where all these things are happening.
All these things are happening. It's a very vibrant community. I guess what I was moving towards was that you love to participate. You love to know what's going on. So you do watch some things that maybe your typical person might think Werner Herzog doesn't view. You watch the Kardashians.
Very, very few, but I do watch. I do watch some trash TV, like let's say WrestleMania, and there was
hell yeah.
And
Sona's like perked up. Enough about madness.
Yes, let's talk about wrestling.
But it's very interesting because it's a very crude form of drama has emerged, and it's a drama that are not in the fight itself. The fights are interrupted by commercials, meaning they're not that important. But the owner of the franchise shows up in the ring. His wife, alleged wife, in a wheelchair and blind, and he has three sexy women in his arm, and rants against his wife in the wheelchair, and all of a sudden you have a form of drama going on, a new form emerging, apparently, probably as crude as ancient Greek drama started out in the 5th century before Christ. Mm-hmm. So I watch it for, number one, I think the poet must not close his eyes, avert his eyes. You have to know in which world you are living. You
see everything.
Know, yes.
Yeah.
And I have nothing against, let's say, once in a while, it isn't on the air anymore. Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, for example. No, but it's, yeah.
That's my favorite. The way you said it, is going to be that'll be a meme. Where that's
no, but very, very fascinating.
Yeah,
there's something deep about society in it. Something deep about the American dream that goes awry somehow. And I can see how the American dream is functioning because I've been in the heartland of America. Mm-hmm. I have worked in Wisconsin. I've worked in Louisiana. I've worked in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I've lived in Pittsburgh with a guest family who picked me up from the street when I was homeless. Without hesitation, I was part of the best that America can give you. And so I think much of the political chasm between left and right is due to the neglect of the center, the heartland of America. People say, they're the flyovers, but they live in Boston or in Seattle or in Los Angeles and New York. And I ask, have you ever been in Wisconsin? No, but I have worked there. So, and I find it an outrage that some of the best of America, very good people living there, of course, underrepresented in the media, with much less access to education, underpaid, without that open access to the American dream. And this is why you have such conflicts now.
Yes, I agree 100% with what you just said. I think there's a condescension. There's a condescension among the elites.
All, yes. No,
there's a condescension.
They're wonderful people, and I am very much in favor of looking at them. And I don't know, where did you grow up as a...
I grew up right outside Boston.
Outside of Boston, but many people who are here in the film industry grew up in Kansas or in Minnesota or in wherever, Arkansas. I say, why don't you contact your old school buddies, tell them what you are doing and be interested in what they are doing. What are they thinking? What are they doing? Put them on your radar. Let them know they are around there and you like them. And you like Arkansas and you like Wisconsin.
And do they do it?
No. Unfortunately, very few. No, I cannot give you statistics, but much of what I'm saying now is disappointing.
Yeah.
Los Angeles is not a disappointment. I lived in San Francisco for a few years, and I said, no, I have to move. And I talked to my wife, we have to move to the city with the most substance. And it was immediately clear, Los Angeles.
It's interesting because I've been thinking about all of your work, and what comes up so often for me, and this is my interpretation, and so much, there's been so much discussion of your work, but there's an iron will that you have. And I'm wondering, with these film productions, which are, impossible to pull off. You're in the jungle. Things are collapsing. Your main actor, Klaus Kinski, wants to murder you. You want to murder him. It all sounds impossible, and yet you always keep going. And I'm wondering,
is that move a ship over a mountain?
In Fitzcarraldo, you have to move a ship over a mountain, and you've made work about how difficult the work was. There are documentaries about how impossible the project is. And what I keep coming back to are a couple of themes, and one is will, iron will. And I'm wondering, was that something, in your opinion, is that in your soul, or was in your genetics, or was that something that somehow was the product of having so little growing up?
I think it's not a correct description to point at iron will. Because you can dissuade me from my will with a real good argument. And I do the doable. I really do the doable. I knew I could move a ship over a mountain in the jungle.
Okay.
It can be done, and I knew I would be able to do it, although nobody believed in it anymore. And you become very solitary when there are 800 people around and nobody believes in it. And the next town where you can buy a torchlight battery is 800 kilometers away. So you become very solitary, but it's not, I wouldn't call it iron will. It's a very, very clear vision.
Yeah, okay.
A very deep vision in me. And I knew moving a ship over a mountain would be a great metaphor, something like Moby Dick.
Yes. Yeah.
The white whale, something embedded very deep in our soul, in our collective soul, probably. And I can articulate it. And all of a sudden, everybody understands it. Although I must confess, metaphor for what I cannot explain.
Well, everyone can have their own interpretation, because
it's better that way. Yeah.
We've all, whatever, in our lives, we've all pulled a giant ship over a mountain.
Sure.
And when I say that, I mean we've all battled with something that most people thought, well, that can't be done.
Yeah.
I'm curious if, when I look at your work, I think, did you have, you seem very solid the whole time, even during all this insanity and chaos. You seem very solid, and I think, do you have a good mask, a good poker face, or did you feel true despair?
If there's only a mask, it would get cracks and it would become visible that it's only posing.
Right.
You have to have it in you.
Yeah.
And so what can I say? It has carried me that I'm just myself, and essentially myself in many of the situations.
There's another theme that you love to explore, which is madness, and it comes up again and again and again. And I was noticing it even came up in so many of your films. There's that line between someone being obsessed and have they gone mad? Have they lost control of themselves? You've worked with people who could clinically be called mad, if that's a real clinical diagnosis anymore. When you did your documentary Encounters at the End of the World and you're in Antarctica, I remember very clearly there's a scene where you're looking at the penguins and you start to wonder, have they gone mad?
Or at least one.
At least one. Has there one penguin gone mad? But I thought, well, Werner Herzog went all the way to Antarctica and he's looking at penguins and he's still wondering about madness. Is this is it right that is a true that's a theme that you like to try and mine or explore?
Yes, it's not only madness, but a state where we can be out or beyond ourselves, like an ecstasy, like religious mystics in the late Middle Ages. Or it could be a penguin. I asked a penguin researcher and I was told he has not spoken to anyone for 24 years. So I said, I will be the first one. And I tell him some things that he has never heard. Why do, for example, species of ants create colonies of slaves of some sort of lice that they milk for droplets of sugar?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? And why does a chimp not saddle the goat and ride off into the sunset of Death Valley or Monument Valley?
Yeah.
Why does this happen? Is there insanity among animals, not only among people? Is there insanity among penguins?
Mm-hmm.
Some, because I observed a penguin that marches right into the continent, and it's 5,000 kilometers of ice and mountains. And there's no way to turn the penguin around. You can do that. And you shouldn't do it, by the way. But you can turn it around. It will immediately, stubbornly march into his death, into the interior of the continent. Not to the water, not to the colony. So what is going on? I've been fascinated by this.
It's fascinating because you've done this very intense and beloved work, and you explore these intense themes. But because of your fame and notoriety, you're also being asked to do these other side projects, which are very popular in popular culture. You've been a guest on The Simpsons.
Yes.
More than once.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, you're in The Mandalorian.
Jack Reacher.
Yes, Jack Reacher. Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
And I'm curious how you reconcile, because it's such a chasm between being in Peru, your life threatened by a madman trying to make this magnum opus, and then you're on the set of The Simpsons, or you're with Baby Yoda on The Mandalorian. Is it? It must be quite fascinating to imagine the trips you've taken in your life.
Sure, yes, and I do not want to miss any of that, because I found The Simpsons very fascinating, intelligent, and a lot of anarchy in it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was invited to speak a role, I immediately said, do they speak? I cannot believe that. I thought there were only like comic strips printed in newspapers. I had never seen it. And I think Matt Groening, who started it, he said to me, don't you know, since 24 years, we are on TV station.
One of the most popular TV shows of all time around the world.
I did not know that it existed. So I asked for a DVD to show me a little bit so that I could see how, or hear how cartoonish the voices would be.
Yeah.
They actually sent a few of them to me, and they said, you don't need to be cartoonish, just speak with your accent. It's wild enough.
Yes.
It's wild enough for us. So, and I acknowledged, yes. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Did you work?
I'm good at that. And in Jack Reacher, they're bad guys. They open fire. They have huge assault rifles. They swear, they shout, they yell at you. They have fist fights. I'm the epicenter of evil. I have very few fingers left. I ate them in a gulag to avoid being sent to a lead mine and lose my life there. And I'm blind I have one blind eye, and I only have my voice to spread terror, and a calm voice. And one of the villains, the sub-villain, who made a mistake, I tell him, you can get away with it. if you're really determined not to do that again, you have to eat your fingers as I did it.
Yeah.
And he tries, and I very calmly encourage him. I say, that was already good. I know you can do it. Just try harder. And it's so frightening that when the film was out, friends of my wife in Paris, they called her and they said, Lena, are you married to that man? you know, we are only one night flight away from you. We can give you shelter. So I knew I was good, and that's my best reward.
Did you the Mandalorian? There's so much secrecy around that shoot. There's so much, no one can know what's going to happen. Yeah. And how did you? What was that experience like for you?
Well, secrecy went so far that I had to sign a contract for a film, Huckleberry Finn, not Mandalorian.
They misnamed
and
it, yeah.
You had your costumes. You couldn't leave the studio unless you put a big tunic all over you, and you were not allowed to speak about what was going on inside. So I understand that because it's such a worldwide phenomenon, and fans were lurking outside the hedges with their little cameras and trying to snap a few photos. So, but the experience was very very interesting, because Jon Favreau, who is a mastermind behind all this, he invited me. I was always invited. I never competed for any part. I never was in any audition. And he apparently loves my films and loves my writings. And he wanted to make me as a person visible for a larger audience in the world. That's a guy who did all these things. And you see, we are speaking about my films and my acting, but equally important, I think, is writing. From the very, very beginning, I've been a writer. And I started out writing when I was 15, 16, and I published my first books decades ago in the early 70s. And they are still constantly being reprinted. And I keep saying, and it's basically to deaf ears, and it will fall on deaf ears here as well, but time is on my side. I keep saying written things, my books, my prose, my poetry, with all probability will have a longer life than my films. I will be remembered for my writings, not so much for my films.
I wouldn't say that would fall on deaf ears here, because I think, yes, the films, I think, and no one can really say, but the medium of film can change so much that things can go in and out of popularity. But you write beautifully. Yeah. You are a terrific and disciplined writer, and your writing's very lyrical. And I think that can travel through all kinds of changes in how people experience entertainment, probably more safely and durably than maybe film can. So I think that's possible.
Books are more durable than movies. That's a strange thing, but it's a fact. You can see it.
You are very prolific with your film work, your writing. What's the plan now? What's in the next couple of years?
Well, I've written yet another book, which is called The Future of Truth. Very wild, furious storytelling, but it will be released in. Is
it fiction?
No, but it's much of it is also storytelling. I'm also pursuing a documentary, but let's forget about that because it's a little bit unclear what is going to happen next. And I have written a screenplay for a story that's long in me, and I describe it in my memoirs. It's called Bucking Fastard. And
it's a great title.
A slip of tongue, yeah. And it's about twin sisters, identical twins who spoke in unison. And we have had twins. We know sometimes they develop their own secretive language. But these twins, unique, we have never seen or heard of anyone else, and I was in very close contact with them. They spoke in unison.
That's incredible.
When they opened the door and they said, please come in, and do you want to have a cup of tea? That can be ritualized and rehearsed. But they would answer a question that they could not expect in unison. And there was a court case, a truck driver, an ugly, purple-faced truck driver had a restraining order against them. And in court, they were allowed to testify in the witness stand together.
Oh, my God.
But it's an iron principle. If you are in court, you, Conan, will testify, and then
the next
your
person.
sibling will testify, and then the next person. There was an exception. They spoke in unison because they would be terrified and would unravel and start shouting and so. And across the courtroom, they shouted to the truck driver, he's lying. Every word he's saying is a lie. He's lying under oath. And then simultaneously, the bucking bastard is lying.
So they both made the same mistake at the same time.
Same slip of tongue in the same moment, even that.
I need to reveal that Sona has twins.
Yeah.
And she's shown us video, the cameras of them communicating with each other before they could really talk.
Yes.
And they are having full-on, it's nonsense to us, but you understand it is a full-on...
They're having a full conversation. I don't understand a word of it. It's fascinating to watch.
But it's a separate language. They do not speak in unison.
No,
and they do not
don't.
make up. I said, hey, girls. I said girls, even though they were not girls anymore. They were in their early 40s or late 30s. I said to them, let's go out to a restaurant. And they whispered to each other, making up, but they whispered in unison. And they said, now a restaurant, and there are these waiters in tuxedos. And so I said, now, let's go to a fish and chip place around the corner. They speak in unison to each other. And then they said, let's do it.
So when is this coming out? This
no, it's there's only a screenplay. It's not financed yet. It's not shot yet.
I'll give you the money.
But that would be nice. But
you doubt I have it, do you? Well, I have tens of thousands of dollars. So
one should. Well, I have started my own rogue film school as an antithesis to all the nonsense you learn in film schools. It's okay that you learn technical things in film school, but how to write a screenplay, I mean, it's very antiquated and very uninspired what's going on. And in this rogue film school, I tell young people, aspiring filmmakers, you can today, with the technology you have today, you can make a 1.5 hour documentary for under $10,000, and you can make a feature film that can be shown in big theaters for under 50,000. And it actually has been proven. We have seen some films in theaters successfully that were made on cell phones.
Yeah.
And they're very good. And you can edit on your own laptop. Just roll up your sleeves and do it.
That's incredible, because I think about the famous story about you is that you stole your first camera.
Yeah.
You didn't have a camera and you stole it. And I love this line from the book. You say, I refuse to think of it as stealing. You said, I was exercising a natural right to put the camera to its intended use. I thought that is such a fantastic rationalization, but also it makes perfect sense. But you had so many limits, and I wonder, Werner Herzog, if you went into a black hole and you appeared today as a young man, your early 20s, and you have iPhones, and you have computers that can, laptops that can edit, how different are the films? Are they completely different films? Or are you telling
my films wouldn't be different.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. It doesn't matter if I shoot it on celluloid. When I started, it was 35 millimeter celluloid, very clumsy, expensive, took a long time to make a film, much longer than today. And yet, with the clear vision that I had, I've done one film after the other. I've done, I don't know, over 70 films by now. Yeah. And I've published at least 10 books. And I've acted in at least 20 films. And I've staged operas. So it wouldn't look different because writing a book, whether you write it on a laptop or in longhand, doesn't make any difference at all.
Right.
And I would have probably functioned the same way.
Famously, it's been much discussed, but it's so riveting. You had this work dynamic with the actor Klaus Kinski, and there's something in it that I understand. I understand because I've watched all the films. I've watched the documentaries about the making of the films. Yeah. I've seen him completely lose control. I've seen in real time people who are working on the film plotting to kill Kinski, Kinski plotting to and threatening to kill you, you plotting to kill Kinski. And I swear to you that what I'm saying is true right now. I've worked in comedy for 40 years, and for 30 of those years, I worked many times out in the field making comedy under duress in strange conditions. And I've wanted to kill people that I've worked with. One of them's here.
Oh,
no, but I've gotten to an altered state at times. I've been hungry and cold, and we've needed to get this shot. And a lot of what I do is somewhat improvisational, and I need to improvise something and make something happen. Yeah, and you have to deliver, and I have to deliver something. And I do think there are times when I've gone to another state. And I'm thinking specifically of an episode I did where we were shooting in Italy, and it was late in the day and we were exhausted, and suddenly we had to shoot a thing where we're hunting for truffles, and I started to lose it. And I think I lost my mind during the truffle hunt and started hopping around like a rabbit. Now, anyone watching it might think, I don't know what's happening with Conan, or maybe he's just doing this because he thinks it's funny. No, I really did lose it and have this kind of madness, but I also understand I'm kind of in love with it. There's a part of me that is attracted to it. And of course, what you were doing, multiply that by 1,000, your work with Kinski. But when you say afterwards, no, we were brothers, to most people that would seem impossible that this man could be screaming at you and abusing you and you screaming back at him. But no, I understand it. I understand how you can go through that with someone, but also cherish that bond. Does that?
It's hard to describe it. And in my book, I describe quite a bit about it. Number one, there is a side to all this which is hilarious. Number two, I've never lost it. I cannot remember that I ever lost it. I've always been the calmest of calm in such situations.
Yes, that's right. You don't lose it, yeah.
He would scream at the native people in the rainforest, and they would huddle, sit down, because they solved their conflicts very quietly, whispering in whispering voices. And they came afterwards to me, and one of their chiefs said to me, we were afraid, but don't you believe we were afraid of this screaming madman? They were afraid of me because I was so quiet.
Ah, okay.
And I really meant business. And in moments of real confrontation, Kinski understood when I explained to him things very, very calmly. This is impermissible. This cannot be done. What you are trying, there's a task that is beyond the two of us. We have to stick to it, or else. And he would know that this or else would mean he would be a dead man within 30 seconds flat. I didn't have to spell it out.
You just did, though. Yeah, that's incredible.
No, but
That's good that you're doing it now. You're doing it now.
let's put it simply.
Yeah.
You have to have it in you to stop at a certain moment and to understand. Yes, you do not do this. You're not going to kill each other. It's a beautiful script, which is outside of the movie, and the script is not going to happen. Otherwise, you end up on death row. And I have made 9 films on death row, and I know that every single one on death row that I met, men and women, were only a step away from what I am or what almost all of us are.
Yeah, that's true.
Very human beings.
It's interesting because there's this new movement that's being discussed lately, and it was written about the other day, I think, in the New York Times, which said when dealing with someone who's out of control or psychotic, they say become a gray rock, become bland and very, very sort of almost disinterested, and they say it's the best way to treat them. So had you screamed back at Kinski and entertained and tried to meet him scream for scream, the whole thing would have blown up by staying almost inert as you did.
No, we had a plane crash and only garbled messages in our camp. We didn't know exactly where was it, how many people.
Was this a plane that was coming to this film shoot?
To our film, to our set, transporting extras. And I tried to make sense what it was. In Kinski at that morning, we served coffee in all the huts, and he was the last one because we altered the line of who would be first or last. His coffee was lukewarm. He just lost it over it, and he kept yelling and screaming for an hour and a half, foam at his mouth. I mean, literally, I'm not exaggerating. Screaming at the top of his lung, that close to my face, that close. And I tried to explain, Klaus, there's a plane down. We need to understand what the garbled radio is transmitting to us. So, and finally, I couldn't get rid of him. I went to my hut. I had one little piece of chocolate, very good chocolate left, and I stood right in his face and ate the chocolate. That was too much for him because chocolate was the most valuable item in the camp.
Yes.
And I ate my last piece of chocolate, and he just fell silent and withdrew. Yeah.
Yes, it's like you shut down the computer. It just went to the Apple. It went to the Apple logo.
Yeah,
There's nothing he could do at that moment.
Yeah.
This is a glorious day because for the first time since she left to go on maternity leave and give birth to Mikey and Charlie, her beautiful twin boys, Sona Movsesian is back in the podcast studio. Sona!
Hey, it's good to be... Can I say something? It was good to be back.
Yeah, it was nice. It was kind of emotional because... You zoomed in once, kind of recently, but to have you back here in the studio, and of course I've been here with David. Mm-hmm. David is Sona's assistant, and yes, you heard that right. My assistant has an assistant named David Hopping.
He's more your assistant now.
Well, yes, but what I'm saying is you used to have an assistant.
That's right.
We had the best time. It was a great couple of years.
Which enabled you to do absolutely nothing.
Sona was the best boss, though.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. So anywho.
He says I was the best boss.
Yeah, because he lets you watch, Big Brother or whatever it is you watch.
Grey's Anatomy.
Okay,
a lot,
whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're so jealous.
I haven't watched TV since Mayberry RFD went off the air. Anyway.
No one got that.
David, there's 2 people out there who got it, and boy, are they happy. And both of them worked on that show. Listen, David has been doing his best to fill in for you, and I think doing a lovely job,
Excellent.
doing a fantastic job here in the podcast studio. But great to have you back, Sona. And people have missed you. People have told me everywhere I go, people say, how's Sona doing?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I was really excited to come back. And then I think 5 minutes into being here.
Can I tell you what happened?
I want you to say it.
Okay. So I see Sona in the parking lot. We're here at the Earwolf Studios on Sunset Boulevard. Just a fun fact, right across the street from where Greg Daniels and I got started in the business in 1985.
That's cool.
At Sunset Gower Studios,
Very
not
cool.
necessarily the news. Little fun fact. Anyway, I run into you in the parking lot as we're both about to walk up, and we hug, and it's kind of emotional. You're back. You look fantastic. Doesn't she look fantastic?
She looks great.
Yeah, you
Thanks,
look
guys.
amazing.
You really do.
Thank
You look amazing, and we're just so happy to see you.
Thrilled.
And then we walk into the offices, and there are a couple of people here, and Ruthie's here from Team Coco, and she's happy to see you and hugs
So
you.
nice.
And David's hugging you, and everyone's hugging you. I want to say maybe at most 2 minutes went by
Yeah.
when you found that there's these energy bars here, little snack bars.
Yeah.
And so Sona unwrapped one of the snack bars and was eating it. And you seemed really happy, and everyone was really happy. And you're about
So
halfway
excited.
through this bar. And I said, "What you got there, Sona?" And you went, "What is it? What was it?"
It was a kashi, chocolate almond, sea salt, delicious, bar.
Yeah.
It
And you
was
were halfway through, you're really enjoying
so
it. And I said,
tasty.
"What is that?" And you went, "Oh, it's this." And I said, "And what flavor is it?" And you held it out just a little bit, and I smacked it out of your hands. And it went flying across the room and shattered into a million pieces. And you shouted out, "You dick!"
Yes.
And I was thinking, that's what I do.
Minutes.
That's what I do. And you think just because you gave birth to 2 babies
Oh my God.
that you get to come in here now and be treated differently. And what I'm trying to teach you is no. You've got to get your reflexes back. I've done that
I'm
on the
so mad.
I've done that to you hundreds of times.
Yes.
It's actually featured in a very popular YouTube video that's out there where I demonstrate how I do it in front of an HR person.
Right. No
And
shame.
You held it out to me because you completely forgot. You were
I
so
did.
busy giving life to the world that you forgot
What it's like.
to guard your kashi bar around Conan.
I wasn't even angry at you. I was angry at myself.
Appropriate.
Because I should have seen that coming a mile away.
Right.
And I, now at this point, like you did that once when we were on the show where I was holding a plate of watermelon. You're like, "What do you eat there?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's a plate of watermelon." And you didn't hit it. You kicked it. You
that was hard,
did a
'cause I had-
roundhouse kick
Because I had to kick
out
it.
of my hand.
Yes, and I kicked it perfectly, so it went flying. And, that takes real coordination. It was,
Yeah.
I have very long legs, and I did a spinning kick and hit the plate, which was paper, fortunately, but I didn't care. It could have been on a Ming vase, and I wouldn't have cared. And the watermelon went flying. Crew members were there. and they weren't used to this.
And it's always right when I really want a snack, I find the perfect snack. And it's almost as if something triggers in your brain where you're
Yes.
like, Sona's enjoying herself.
Oh, yes.
Let me ruin it.
The way a shark can smell blood, I can smell joy, and I have to attack. If I sense joy, I must strike. And you get so happy about your snacks.
All I need is food, and you take it away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and you love it. You're so happy.
Oh my God, it made me so happy. I'm so glad you're back, and I'm so glad you're snacking, and then gullible enough to, when I innocently inquire, "So what flavor is it?" You hold it out a little closer to me.
God.
Well, it's chocolate, but it's got a little fudge swirl, and quatang goes flying.
Minutes.
At least your hair's still up.
Yeah.
She hasn't done that yet.
Oh, yeah. When you just punch I have my hair in a bun, and you just punch the bun for no reason.
I punched the bun because I think that doesn't count as actually hitting you because those are dead cells.
You
hair
never
cells.
get my head. You don't.
No, God, no, that would be abuse.
No.
I wouldn't touch the skull or the head, but I figured out a way that if I punch quickly, like a little rabbit punch, the bun of your hair, it completely falls apart, and you go, "Oh man."
So good to be back.
Anyway, as you can tell, I've missed you.
Oh, I've missed you too. It was seconds.
I think you came on the show twice to do stand-up comedy, and obviously I thought you were terrific, and you have flourished. And then you do this show just for us, and it is quite spectacular, one-man show where you really tell this amazing story. and I encourage everyone listening to watch it. What amazed me is that the heart of the story, without, I don't think, giving too much away.
Say what you want.
Okay, you decide to attend a meeting that you found out about on Twitter, I think, and it's in
It's in Queens.
It's in Queens. It's a group of people who are trying to preserve
pride and white identity.
white identity. Yeah, and so
they're not crazy about Jews. Not to spoil too much.
You guys are you say preserve white identity. You're being so kind about
They're
it.
white. They're white nationalists.
Nazi sons of bitches.
Well, I know, but listen, we have a lot of people listening right now, and I don't want to offend anyone.
Okay, and this is Brooklyn.
We've got to keep everybody under the tent.
Okay.
You know what Michael Jordan said? White nationalists buy sneakers too.
You know, some of our who knows? You know, I just got to be careful.
White nationalists sleep on Brooklyn too.
Yeah.
They wear it over their heads. They say
Right. I'm sure white nationalists are eating up the better
Now,
help.
look, if you're a white nationalist and you're listening, you're welcome to.
If you want sheets to cut holes in Brooklyn,
but here's what's amazing to me. You go to this, it's a true story of you in 2018, I think, going to this meeting. You show up, you don't really announce your full identity, and you're accepted into the group, although one guy has his eye on you. But you act this whole thing out, and there's lots of terrific, wonderful asides and cul-de-sacs. It's not all just about this one night. But to me, the feat, which really blew my mind, is that the show is very funny, and it is not angry. You know what I mean? There's something about
totally...
it which I thought was kind of you go and you experience these people and you bring them to life, and I disagree with their beliefs violently, but you give them their humanity, and you're not ranting and raving about them. You're experiencing them as human beings, and it's very funny and delightful, and not, I don't know how to say it, not toxic. Empathetic, yeah.
So so what I did when I started writing the show, and I had help, my director, a lovely man named Adam Brace, and we were talking once, my best friend for a long time, Adam, and Adam would always reference what the worst version of the joke would be. And so one day I was bored on a train to like a tour stop for this show early on, like literally February of 2020, like right before the pandemic. And I started writing the worst version of the show I was already doing. And I was like, what would be the worst and dumbest version of these jokes? One that was like, desirous of victimhood and really angry and really tacky and really earnest or really cynical. And I wrote this like shitty version of the show, like the sort of dark side crap version of it. And every so often when the show would change, because the show would change every day, I would compare against the shit version. Mm-hmm. Sorry to curse. If that, I know.
No. We lost our deal with Nickelodeon.
I know.
Okay. You know who doesn't like cursing is the white nationalist.
Yeah. Well, fuck you guys. No, okay,
hey, phone lines lighting up. Said Conan, not understanding podcasts.
Wait, don't you have a podcast where you talk to the fans on the phone? Like, isn't that?
That's another one. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. But so so I would compare this thing. But yeah, I wanted a show that wasn't going to be about like. Do you know Pauline Kael is?
Yes.
Pauline Kael, for anyone
one of the great film critics of all time.
Yeah. I was reading a book of her reviews, and and there was like little snippets of things she'd only done a paragraph on. And she gave a review to this movie about the Nuremberg trials called
Judgment at Nuremberg?
Yes, Judgment at Nuremberg. And she says, I hate this movie because it takes a brave stance against being a Nazi.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that I never did a show about neo-Nazis that took a brave stance against being a neo-Nazi, because I assume that most people watching my show are aware that it's not amazing to be a neo-Nazi.
Right.
So instead of being like, what does a version of this look like, where instead of being like an early like the Daily Show and like when I was in high school and college did this tremendous job of sort of like gotcha comedy with like exposing the hypocrisy of, like
Powerful figures, politicians. Yeah,
exactly. And folks and even regular people who were supporting the folks sycophantically. And I was watching some of those clips. And wow, they've really lost their zing because we know it now. Like we know there's no surprise being like, oh, a Trump supporter has double standards on morality. Kills shock, like it's really, And so I wanted to ask more interesting questions with that, like, that unique opportunity. And also want to reckon with the difficult truths there, which is that I am in some ways like some of those people or share a point of view on one or two of the things that they're saying, or think that thought that would be a more interesting show and a more humane show, especially given the like rancorous present that we live in.
I think it's also that kind of comedy to me is more durable. That's I always think is the prize to be shooting for. So I thought this was really nicely done. There was a bunch of things that I noticed, which is your physicality on stage. You have a lot of energy. And you're running around and you have sort of a comedic way of moving around the stage that was really making me laugh. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking?
Nice.
Do you know what I'm talking about? It's kind of this. I don't even know what.
It's called ADHD, Conan.
Is that it?
Sorry, but yeah,
there it is. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that I realized some of that's a bad habit, some of that's intentional, and some of that's a bad habit. And I don't know any other way to bring this up, but Adam Brace, who
and I know it's coming because he helped you bring this to life.
Yeah, he's my director, and like I said, my closest pal. We worked together on 3 solo shows, and he passed away right before we started on Broadway. And so, and so that sucked.
Yeah, and he passed away very suddenly. It was a shock.
Yeah, it was very surprising, and I think actually very inconsiderate of him, given he had work to do, but it's okay. Really not commensurate with his theatrical responsibilities. But Brace, he told me when it was okay to move and when it was okay not to move. Like there are moments in the show that are very anchored and still, and then there are moments where you run around, and it's good because it puts a contrast on the moments where you're still, because they're like, oh wow, that guy sure moves a lot, and then like, oh wait, he's really standing still for this. I guess this part's important, but like. I've always had help from other people, and I've always like wanted. Also, that's the other thing. The show was socialized with like 1 million comedians. Like every comedian who came, I would interrogate them for notes. Like Seinfeld came, and I was like, "Give me a note."
Was Seinfeld's note bass notes in between scenes?
Yeah.
Because I found that to be off-putting.
Yeah. The Michael Richards cameo doesn't really fit, but we did have to cut around it.
And I realized they were all anti-Semites.
Yeah.
Boing, ba-doing, doing, doing.
They're all anti-Semites. Although, I remember when Seinfeld came, I remember thinking, how did anyone ever kill Abe Lincoln? Because the whole time the crowd wasn't watching me, they were watching Seinfeld. And I was like, wasn't there like most of the people at the play were like, is Lincoln enjoying the show?
Yeah.
What does Lincoln think of our American cousin? Oh no, but look out!
The weird thing is, most of them would have known John Wilkes Booth, so they would have just been like,
I think about that.
They would have literally thought like, oh, there's the president, and there's George Clooney behind him. Hey, what did George Clooney just do?
That's genuinely. I think about it constantly, but the thing is, it's his brother. It was like his brother was Edwin Booth.
Yeah,
and
Edwin was a huge star.
And there's a theater on Broadway still named after Edwin Booth, which is like, how talented does that guy have to be? It's like, welcome to the Mark Bin Laden Theater.
And afterwards we'll all hit Oswald's for a steak. Damn, I hate what his brother did, but this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about your book, Be Useful, 7 Tools for Life, because I read this book yesterday, and there's so much in here that, as I said, if I had just seen your action movies over the years. Especially in the early ones, I would think, well, this man, he's a great action star. But then, as you started to make other movies, and I got to interview you and be around you a couple of times, I saw how hilarious you are, how funny you are naturally, and it's in you. I thought, okay, there's more in this book that comes out that I never imagined. For example, you say that, and I would have thought, if you have to define the self-made man in Hollywood, it would be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You come from a very poor part of Austria. You grew up no running water, and you didn't speak the language, and you came here and you managed to not only be a bodybuilding champion, but a biggest movie star in the world and conquer politics. You do all these things, and you overcome all these challenges. And in your book, you say, you can call me whatever you want. You can call me Schnitzel. You can call me Arnie. Do not call me a self-made man. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's I know that people, when they call me a self-made man, it's a compliment. They mean it as a compliment. But I also at the same time want to make it clear that a self-made man means that there was no one that helped me, that I made myself, which is not true. Mm-hmm. I mean, my parents helped me, my father, my mother, my teachers helped me, my coaches helped me. I had all these bodybuilding coaches and weightlifting coaches that helped me. I had Joe Weider, who was kind of like the king of bodybuilding and fitness in America, bring me to America and make my dream become a reality. Got me an apartment when I came to America, got me some money so I could get started here and become the greatest bodybuilder of all time. It was, the agents and the producers that helped me to get then into movies. Mm-hmm. And I remember 5.8 million people voted for me to become governor of California. How can I say I made myself governor?
Right.
And so it's not a dictatorship or anything like that. So I think that I got the help from millions and millions of people. And I want to have people understand that I know that I'm a product of a lot of help. Mm-hmm. Because that's important to each one of us to know that we're a product of a lot of help, because that makes you then go and feel responsible also to go out and help other people. Because a lot of young people and people that are helpless, people that are poor, people that don't know how to make the next move, to help them.
Yeah.
Because we were helped, so let's help them. So this is what made me an enthusiastic kind of public servant, someone that got involved very enthusiastically with Special Olympics in the beginning in the 70s and create weightlifting for Special Olympians and become the international coach for them. That's what got me involved in the President's Council on Fitness and travel through all 50 states and give something back and promote health and fitness. I started after-school programs, and then eventually I ran for governor when everyone said, Arnold, you're insane. Because you're going to miss out on 2 movies a year, which you make $20 million a movie. You're missing out on all that money for becoming governor. Are you crazy? And I tell people, I said, look, every dollar that I made was because of America. I became rich and famous because of America, not because of Austria, not because of Germany or any other place, America. So it's natural for me to want to give something back. So it doesn't bother me at all not to go and make movies for a few years.
The other surprise in this book is you talk a lot about failure, and it really resonated with me because I am very aware of all the things that have gone you could perceive as going wrong in my life at different points. And then I later on look at them as kind of strange gifts, and I realize how much they help me. You make this point about bodybuilding, which is built into the fabric of bodybuilding is failure, because you need to grow the muscle. You need to push it to the point of absolute failure, recover, then add more weights, and you need to push it to failure again. So it's in a weird way, bodybuilding is repetitive failure over and over and over again, which I had never really thought about.
Yeah, and that is why I tell people that what makes you sometimes not be successful is your fear of failure. And so as soon as you become kind of friends with failure, and you say to yourself, wait a minute, Michael Jordan talks about he became the greatest basketball player because he missed his 5,000 shots, and he screwed up 280 some games, and all of this, and that's what made him the greatest basketball player. So it's failure where we learn really the most, and in bodybuilding it's built in that you do the exercise, like you say, until you fail. In weightlifting, you go and lift until you fail, because it's the only way you know how much you can lift is if you go all out and always lift beyond of what you can lift, and then you know exactly what you can do. I missed the 500-pound bench press at least 10 times in different competitions, but the 11th time I did it. So I didn't feel like I was a failure. I just felt like I have to train more. And so I think the key thing is to tell people, don't be afraid of failure, because it makes you kind of like freeze and not make a move forward. Be friends with that and understand that from failure we can learn more. And therefore, let's go all out and just feel free of that and not be worried and afraid all the time.
I also didn't realize just how much, there are all these, cliches, no pain, no gain. And you talk about that. You're you say, look, there's a lot of cliches out there, but here's the reality of it. But when you talk about lifting and the pain that's involved, there's real pain involved. That's why I never got into professional bodybuilding.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me, what do you mean?
I'm sorry. No, you're keep going.
I have the frame for it. I have the natural genetic disposition for
absolutely.
it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
See, there's someone here who knows, who I think we should respect.
Yeah. He seemed very genuine when he said
what kind of mirrors do you use?
I got them from a circus, Arnold. Why do you ask? They were free, and I love them. I have a massive chest. Whenever I look at, then I see these other mirrors, and I spit on them. But it's that you became comfortable with pain, and you were kind of almost. It almost sounds like you were addicted to, not in a bad way, but so addicted to working out. I love this section of the book. That as a young man, 15, 16 years old, you broke into a gym because it wasn't open on the weekend and you wanted to work out. Now, I've broken out of gyms. I have never broken into a gym. That intensity was always there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Well, our weightlifting club was in a stadium. And so on the weekends, there were always games, soccer games, because it was underneath the stadium. And so you were not allowed to go in underneath where the wrestling club was, where the boxing club was, the weightlifting club and all that, because it was for the soccer players. And so I had to kind of sneak in. So what I did on Friday night was I opened the latch of the window on top. Mm-hmm. And so that from the outside I can open up the window and then crawl in. And sometimes, one time I forgot to open it, and I just broke the window, and I climbed in the back, and then I worked out for hours and hours and hours. It was like absolute heaven. But what is important here is to recognize that your brain and your mind is no different than the muscle. So the muscle grows by pushing it and going through pain and through discomfort. Well, the same is with your head. Mm-hmm. That if you really want to grow as a person and if you want to get tough, you got to go through pain. You should not shy away. And this is a lot of times the day with today's youth. When they talk about, the boys are having a problem, the girls having a problem, this is a problem, there's a problem. Everyone has a problem. It's like they're getting softer. Mm-hmm. And they're not willing anymore to kind of take themselves through this pain period and through the discomfort. Everyone wants to be in comfort. Kids want to sleep in to 7, 8 o'clock at night. When I sleep longer than 6 o'clock, I already hear my father's voice, who has been dead for more than 50 years. But I still hear his voice. Arnold, be useful. Mm-hmm. Because that's what my dad always said. And he always would say, he says, do you think this country was built by people sleeping in? No, this country was built by people that were able to work hard, work their ass off, and to go through torture, and to go through pain, and to do all of that. And so that's what motivates me. because I don't want to go and lie around and live in comfort. Yeah, when you go on vacation, of course, when we go skiing, I go to Sun Valley, yeah, then I live in comfort. I sit out in the jacuzzi after skiing and all that stuff. But I mean, throughout the year, it's all about, okay, we got to go and do something.
Right.
Move the things forward. And if I don't have enough to do with my own work, then you do some stuff for the community.
Yeah.
So there's always things to do. And so this is what I'm trying to teach people, is to make this life rich.
Yeah.
Not to exist, but to live. And living means really to go all out 24 hours a day. Yes, you sleep 6 hours a day, or if you need 7 hours, so be it. But the rest of the time, there's so much that we can do.
Well, I need 15 hours of sleep. 15 hours.
No, poor baby.
Yeah. And then I need to sit in a bath of heavy cream.
How many?
Sona, you remember, you just have to pour the cream into the tub.
Yeah.
How many times do you have to change diapers during the night?
And he needs his
Sometimes
bottle.
I can't believe that you never interned for me, because...
I turned it down a lot. No. I know how bad you guys wanted
Why
me.
didn't you want to work for free?
We need that intern.
Why? No, but...
They say that he's so good
The
at
list
interning.
of people from the office...
I know, it's crazy.
...who are from Massachusetts...
I didn't know that was an option. When they were talking about it on set, I felt so left out. I was like, why did my mom never tell me
Your
about
mom
this?
had to tell
I don't know.
you.
No, but it's like, like
Chris-
other
Chris-
kids go to the summer camp and you're like, wait, I didn't know you could do that. But when I was a kid, like kids went to concerts. I'm like, how did you go to a like your mom drove you to the Worcester Centrum and waited in the car?
Oh my God,
Like, I
the
didn't
Worcester
get it.
Centrum, yes.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
These kids got to Nirvana when I was like in 8th grade. I was like, you can go? And so, yeah, I was like, no one told me you could intern at Conan?
Yeah, and when you think about it, I think half the cast of The Office interned for
Carell
me.
interned at the office. at Conan, damn it.
He also
Joke
had to
still works.
intern. He also had to intern at the office
Yes,
when he first
did.
got. That's how low down he was.
He worked his way up.
So many. All right, you can
Fast.
You can play Michael, but you also have to intern for the first year.
You have to get Dwight coffee. so weird, and it worked against the character prep too. It was not the right dynamic. Yep.
But you must have. I mean, I know you're friends with a lot of the people that interned for us. What's the list of people that interned for us?
Angela Kinsey, Mindy Kaling.
It's crazy.
John Krasinski.
Right.
Ellie Kemper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who else? I mean, am I leaving anyone off?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some are going to end up interning for us.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, there's a long
On the
road ahead.
podcast. I think Krasinski, when he gets his comeuppance, will be here getting me coffee again.
Yep.
I loved it the last time I saw Krasinski. I think he had a bodyguard. And I'm thinking, you used to get me coffee. And now there's someone here to protect you from me.
That's funny.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. I'm a very violent man.
Yeah, he's a lot of enemies.
I've always heard that Mindy Kaling does this thing that I want to ask you about, which is something that is near and dear to my heart. Making
confirm any rumor about
making
her.
up lies that don't really exist for any reason. Just making up a very random lie.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a way of pranking people, but it's something that's always fascinated me. I love that as well, and I'm a big believer in that. But can you give me examples? Is it true, first of all, that she loves to do that?
Now and then. She hasn't done it in a while, I hope. But
she told me she really needed money.
Yeah.
And I gave her $100,000. And then
That's how she's so rich.
She started
yeah.
giggling.
Yeah. She told that to Warner Brothers. And they're like, all right, sure, whatever you need. She once on The Office told me that there was a female director that had done an episode of one of my scripts, and I didn't especially like how the direction went, not a huge deal, but Mindy said that she had used to date Greg.
The director used to date.
The director used to date Greg.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we're at like 24, so everyone looked like a grown-up to me. This woman was way, like 20 years older than Greg. I was like, oh, okay, all right. And so then Greg was like, what'd you think of her as a director? And I was like, yeah, she was good. And so he hired her back. But I should have said, like, not my favorite director. And then later I told him, like, you used to date her, right? And he was like, what are you talking about? She's like 60. No. How would I have? Anyway.
When someone lies and the lie doesn't have a point.
Yes.
And then they act like they gotcha.
She never acted like she got me. It was just a private joke, which is even more pure.
I have to admire the comedian that doesn't need an audience, just her and God.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. A comedian doesn't have an audience. You've got to score.
That feels like a Fellini movie.
Yeah. I've been around people sometimes who say, yeah, on my way in today, a pebble, shot up from the road and cracked my windshield. I got to get it fixed. And I'll be like, that's too bad. And they'll be like, no, it didn't.
But that's not.
Fuck you. Wait a minute.
That's a pathological.
I missed out here. Well, Sona, you've done that to me plenty of times, always with a pebble.
I'm sorry, Emma. I love that pebble bit. You fall for it every single time.
Yes.
You fall for it every single time.
I mean, the key to it, the pro and con, is that it's so mundane, but there's also no payoff.
And people think who would lie about such a thing?
Right.
But
huge waste of time.
Yeah. So that's something I like that about Mindy. I like that she's willing to take you down that
She cares
road.
about comedy. Yeah. And she's an amazing hard joke writer too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think those two go hand in hand.
I think so too.
Yeah.
You talk about the greats. You have your Chris Martin, Coldplay, massively successful. So you get to have dinner with the people that you grew up listening to. And I'm curious, have you gotten advice from those people, for whether it's a McCartney or a Bono or anyone, a Michael Stipe, any of those people?
Well, funny enough, I don't actually have dinner anymore. I stopped eating at 4, and I learned that from having lunch with Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
That's really true, yeah.
What happened? You were having lunch with him and he said, after this, no more. That's it. What happened?
Kind of, yeah. First of all, Bruce is in my equal top pantheon of heroes. And
a wonderful guy.
And I love him, and I love Patty, his wife. And I was lucky enough to go over there for lunch the day after we played Philadelphia last year. I was on a really strict diet anyway. But I was like, Bruce looks even more in shape than me.
Yeah.
And Patty said, he's only eating 1 meal a day. So I was like, well, there we go. That's my next challenge.
Did you see what that meal was? It's an 8-foot-long submarine. Hey, 1 meal a day. And then you see it's this giant vat of beef chili.
The chef came out and said, today we have flank of buffalo with a steroid sauce. Washed.
Yeah. Well, I do this when I've had the opportunity to sit with people who were heroes of mine. I find myself drifting out of my body sometimes to look at the experience from outside. I get a little self-conscious, and I've learned to pull myself back in and say, just be with this person right now,
for sure,
and talk to them. But it's hard to do when you're talking to a huge hero.
Well, I think for 2 reasons. One is we live in a culture where we celebrate people as much as criticize them. We also have our celebrities in that, and we're very much ingrained to sort of think of them as from another planet. So if you didn't grow up around that, like you didn't or I didn't, in some small part of you think, oh, Tom Cruise comes from another planet where everything's fine.
Yeah.
Of course, that's not true, but it's easy to fall back into that belief, even when you're sitting with someone. For example, with Tom Cruise, who I love his work so much. The first time I met him, I didn't say anything about being a fan because I was like, he doesn't need to hear this.
Right.
And then I realized, no, he's a human. So next time I was like, I love Oblivion or whatever it was. So I have to do that thing as well. It doesn't have to be someone older. It could be Adele or Harry Styles or anyone that I think is great. Sometimes I might drift into that almost worshipful fan, treating them as a bit of an alien thing.
Yeah.
But then remember, oh, this is a person and might even be my friend.
I love any moment where I get to see these. It doesn't happen often, but if I get to be around an icon and I just see that, oh, yes, they're dealing with the same stuff in their life as I am, that makes me very, very happy when I have that experience. And my one with Bruce Springsteen was a number of years ago I did a charity event. He was the music, I was the host / comic. We both do it, our thing, and then we're sitting at this table together after we're done, and Patty's with him. And at one point, we're just talking about music, and this is going to lose me fans, but I inferred that I don't quite love the Grateful Dead as much as other people do. It's not quite my thing. Bruce, I hope this doesn't get him in trouble again, but Bruce was like, no, I kind of know, some of it's great, but then there's some of it where I go quiet. And then Patty said, I love the Grateful Dead. What are you talking about? And then I could just see, like anyone else who's with their partner, Bruce walking it back. And Bruce was going, I did not mean to imply that the Grateful Dead. And she was like, well, I think they did amazing stuff. How could you say it? And I was like, again, I would like to state, I did not mean, and I was just so delighted that, oh, right, when I put my foot in it with my wife, this is what we deal with.
I saw Beyonce the other day after the Grammys, and, she's
Beyonce.
She's my hero and sister and everything. But it's funny because I'm like, I have a knee problem from stage, and she'll say, yeah, me too. You have like the same work complaints that no one else can talk about. Like,
exactly.
I breathe too much of this, and that's yesterday. The strobes didn't go off at the right time. Complaints that anyone else in the world would just say, "Go fuck yourself."
No, but I love that. It is eventually anything that you do day in and day out has elements of it which it becomes a job. And
well, it is. It's a responsibility.
It's a responsibility.
And a job. Yeah. Especially if you're entertaining lots of people.
Yeah.
You're hosting them. Like you remember on your show, you feel responsibility for, I hope these people have a great time.
Yeah.
And if something's going wrong and it's compromising that great time, or it's compromising your ability to, it's really alarming.
There's a little bit of my comedy backstory that I have to tell, which was a lot of people that my age filtered through your show either as like cast, through UCB or internships. Mm-hmm. And I did not, but I really tried my damnedest. And I wound up getting an interview with Cecile. Did she run interns?
I think she did for a while. It's been a while.
Was before my time, but
Cecilia Pliva.
Yes.
She was our casting director. Nicole Savini was...
and Cecilia Pliva also played Camel Toe Annie.
Yeah.
A character named Camel Toe Annie who had her own dance and a song, and she would run out and great, but she was great at her job. And then we were like, are you going to be willing to put on this prosthetic and really tight pants? You don't need me to describe what Camel Toe Annie would look like.
It's kind of in the name, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. And anyway, she would run out and do this wild hip grinding dance while the song Camel Toe Annie would play. And so a shout out to her because she was great and a true warrior.
I think I interviewed with her for an internship.
Yeah.
And because when I was a sophomore in college, I cold called NBC Human Resources. I literally called, I called information and got NBC, and I said, can I have Human Resources? And then I said, I'm looking for an internship. And they said, well, when's your spring break? Can you come in for an interview? And I came to 30 Rock, literally from a cold call. I got into 30 Rock for an internship, for an interview. And they said, okay, well, you seem like a nice kid. Where do you want to work? And I said, Conan O'Brien or Saturday Night Live. I want to work at Saturday Night Live.
Well, wait a minute. You said Conan O'Brien.
But they said,
but why'd you have to edit it? Okay. Make sure, Gourley, that you cut out the Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, reference. Right. No, but they said you can't. They said, well, the Saturday Night Live internships are only, fall and spring semesters. Mm-hmm. So which one of those can you do? And I said, I can't. What are you fucking kidding me? I go to school. I can't.
Right.
In Ohio, I can't go to.
If you use that language, that's probably what you did.
Yeah, and then I was very angry. And so I said, well, what else can I do? They said, well, Conan is year round, so you could do that in the summer. And I said, yes, that'd be amazing. And I went, she sent me right down to an interview with Cecilia, had a great chat. And then I went back up and they said, well, while you're here, why don't we send you to some other places? So I went down to Channel 4, which was on your floor.
Right across the hall from us,
WNBC, which is the New York City local NBC affiliate. Flagship station. I interview there in their press and publicity department, and that and the woman there says, "Well, this feels like we got a great fit. You got the job," and I was like, "Oh, okay, great, amazing." But I also had this little pit in my stomach, like I think my interview with Late Night went well. I don't know. I guess I have to take this. So I went back to school. Like a week later, Cecilia calls me on my dorm phone and she's like, hey, great news. We'd love to bring you in for the summer. And I was like, oh. And I had this like crisis. And I thought, if I turn my back on WNBC, press and publicity, that will follow me through show business forever.
It would have.
And I can't.
You don't want Chuck Scarborough on your ass.
Yeah, exactly. And so I told Cecilia that I had already accepted this internship at like literally down the hall, and that I had to just do it. I had to stick it out.
Yeah.
And so
That's
I did.
and
I would walk past your studio every day, just like so sad. And I'd say hi to Cecilia, and she would she let me into some tapings.
Oh, good.
I remember seeing an amazing sketch. Actually, I would love to retell it, but I feel like it's too long. But it was about a chef. It was about one of your guests was an author who had a book, but also when he was scared, he would smell ham or something like that. And
That's my comedy sensibility, America.
And so he's doing this interview with you, and at some point,
that's why I'm here doing a podcast.
he starts getting really scared during the interview, and it looks like a real interview. Like you guys are playing it super straight, and he starts getting really, really scared, and he's like, and you're like, what's going on? He's like, I smell ham. I'm really scared. And then he runs off to the side of the stage and pulls a curtain, and there's just a guy cooking a giant ham.
Yeah, of course.
And he's like, oh, thank God. It was just an actual ham instead of my fear reflex smell of ham or some just bizarre. And it was more confirmation that this was genius, and I was in the wrong place in the press and publicity
It
department.
all worked out fine. And
I guess
love
so.
to say I was absolutely convinced that if I didn't, I've said this many times before, but in 1986, I was convinced if I don't get a job with David Letterman as a writer performer, then I will never, ever, ever amount to anything. That is my only path. And I got real close, didn't get it. And but when I look at everything that's happened in my career, I realize if I had gotten that, I never would have gone to SNL.
Yeah.
Met Lorne. Lorne wouldn't have seen something in me and said, hey, maybe he could take over for Letterman. No one else would have done that.
Yeah.
I've told Lorne, I still think it was a mistake, but thank God. And so that's a message I try and tell a lot of young people out there is you are convinced that there is a way.
Yeah.
And there are an infinite number of ways.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be different than what you thought.
And this was hard for me to understand too, but I feel like you get the jobs you're ready for.
Yes.
And and when you don't get the job, it's not because you're not capable of it eventually, but for some reason you probably weren't ready for it.
Such a big deal when you did Private Benjamin that you were a producer. It was very unusual.
I didn't look ever at my career as climbing the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went through anxiety when they pulled me out of the chorus and put me into a show because I wanted to dance. I had preconceived ideas of what I was going to do and thrilled about the opportunity to be dancing in all kinds of shows. I'm not that person who has the kind of ambition and what is me to prove to anybody else. Mm-hmm. It was a practical decision to produce that movie because we didn't need Ray Stark. We didn't need any great big producer. We had an amazing script. You've got producers, on your movie, they're counting the money, line producers and so forth. Mm-hmm. There's no argument about the film. It was going to be great. We had a relationship, and I did with the head of the studio. And the end of the day is that it was practical. We didn't need to spend more money on the budget for a big producer that's going to take a piece of the movie. So me, this was a business decision. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a decision that I'm going to show him. It was really practical. So when this happened, and we produced the movie, and we had wonderful writers, and it was an amazing experience. But on the other side, the next thing I know, my agent or whatever, my PR, got me the cover of Newsweek. And on it said, "Dumb as a fox." And what that was like a double-edged sword. Mm-hmm. Because suddenly, this person that was perceived one way is now suddenly producing. And that was a hail. That was like a very cool thing. But then directors, so forth, really felt like I wanted to do my own thing. I ran my own show. Everything had to be the way I wanted to be. And that's where we get into the glass ceiling, how the people treat you, how they look at you, until you make another hit. I only looked at that from a perspective of looking at life. Girls were not, it wasn't easy for girls to say, I can. And there's a lot of machinations and adjustments to make when you do have an idea. Because if you do have an idea, it's kind of like this. Instead, listen, I got an idea. Why don't we do this? No, it used to have to be, hey, you know what? I just had an idea. Different reading, different world, not that quite the same anymore. But back then, it was, I mean, even Herb Ross was another story who I knew, my mother knew as a little boy. I asked him to do Protocol, to direct it, and he went back to the studio and said, yeah, but does she have to run everything?
Hey, check it out. Peak Design makes travel gear that adapts to any trip. You know how I love travel gear. I travel a lot.
You do. You travel a lot.
And these guys, they make camera gear, bags, phone accessories, designed to help you create, commute, and explore.
Oh, it's nice.
It's incredible. And their gear is known for being meticulously engineered, ruggedly designed, responsibly made, and guaranteed for life. Guaranteed for life!
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's like a wedding vow.
Yeah. Oh.
It's incredible. They sent us this backpack. It looks really nice. And what do you have there, Sona?
I have a little, it's like a pack. It's got shaving gel. It's got all these little compartments.
They've got packing cubes. Look, they've got packing cubes. It's like having a dresser drawer with you wherever you go. They have a wash pouch. It's nice. This stuff, this backpack, it sits upright on a counter. It doesn't just flop. I hate a backpack that flops.
I do too. That sucks.
It's got a wide clamshell opening that gives you access to all your essentials at once. My essentials. I love saying that too. If anyone ever says, what's in your bag, sir? Essentials. And if you want to find out more, visit peakdesign.com/Conan for 20% off your first order. That's massive.
That is pretty good.
And then you can hit the road knowing you got Peak Design with you. And there's no better traveling companion. I just made up a little catchphrase for them.
So there's a perception about aggressive women, women that do things like this. I had no inclination. I had no focus on future. I never said, oh, good, I'm going to produce. The reason I started producing after that is because I realized that for this girl who landed from Mars was not going to be asked to do everything. Because it was a kind of a niche. It was kind of a specialized thing. I wasn't going to do, Sophie's Choice, okay? I knew that there was specific things that I would probably fit into. But I also had something to say about women, about who we are, about things that are women's stories that actually can teach, that can make people feel elated, that can support that. Whether it's, a football coach or, whatever, Protocol, showing the lies in Washington, which I wanted to do. And so I was able to create from my heart, not just to feel like I won. And that's who and where I am as a person.
You see it in politics all the time.
Yeah.
Today, it's still going on where if a male is in a certain role and they're doing it, that's one thing. And then if a woman holds this exact same office, people think she's bossy. She just seems like they put a different spin on it. There is still, I don't know if I want to say latent misogyny or maybe it's overt misogyny, but there's a thing where if you say, no, I'd like to actually have some of the decisions, it's, why does Goldie have to run in everything?
Exactly.
I'm hoping that's changing.
I think it does, but there's a definitive shift. But I have a theory. Now, obviously, I'm working with neuroscience and children in the classrooms and things we can talk about later. But I after understanding more about the brain, the male brain and the female brain are so different.
Mm-hmm.
The female brain can do 8 things at once. They get shit done. They decide they're going to do this, they do it. They're busy, they fix things, they're whatever. They're fixers, or they literally are, basically these thought people who actually we bring in understanding about how to fix it. The male, I think, especially now, isn't doing as well as the women. Women are graduating college, they have jobs, the boys are not doing as well. This is a very interesting shift right now. But I think basically there is a bias in terms of women. Because when a woman gets mad, it's scary. When a woman is feeling angry or ranting or off, that is not good, because men don't like it. They hate it.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether it's a mother thing, because, mother's nurture, she's this, she's that, and the man's the strong guy and he's the one who goes to work. And there's all kinds of images going on. But down deep, I ask that question of how men actually feel emasculated with this, which is a bad feeling.
Yeah.
And that's where we can get a lot of the Ubering over, that kind of feeling when you're in a situation. Is fragility.
It's funny you say that, because I am
fragile.
And that's all the time we have for today.
And emasculated. That was a long time ago. It was a farming accident. It's just funny you say that, because I am not fearful of an angry man, but when a woman is upset, I freeze up. I'm terrified of a woman being upset. Not necessarily even angry, but it's fascinating to go back. And I think, of course, it has something to do with mom. Of course, it has something to do with, there's so much going on with us. And if we could get in there and pull out the wiring a little bit and look at it, we would understand better. But I know with my wife, it helped so much when I was able to say to her, years ago when we were first married, when you get upset about something, it's terrifying for me. And she said, oh, I didn't. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about comedy, and my curiosity is, for me, music is the other. It's the thing that I don't understand. I put up on a pedestal. I've always said, if I could make my living legitimately in a rockabilly band, singing and playing rockabilly music, you would never see me in comedy again, because it would just make me so happy. That's an illusion, because it wouldn't. I'd say, how come no one's laughing?
Right.
Well, they would be laughing, actually.
I'm playing Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
By Johnny Horton. How is this not killing?
Why aren't they howling right now?
Why aren't they howling?
Don't they know this is a real Gretsch 6120 from 1959? It's got the cattle brand on it.
I've got a harmonic tremolo on.
But no, I've always put what you do as the other. And so then I think what we all do is we tend to think, my thought is, okay, I'm here in comedy and I'm always living like second to second. And if something goes wrong, I've got to quickly figure out how to fix it. And it could all fall apart any second. But if I could play guitar and sing and write songs like John Mayer, I'd be bulletproof. And yet I talk to you and you don't feel that way at all.
Well, I don't feel bulletproof, but for different reasons. I always tend to have a different version of the same problem everyone else has. I worry the entire time I'm playing on stage, but I don't worry about whether I'm good enough to make it happen. That's set for me, right? It just happens to be set. What I worry about is, am I playing the song anybody wants to hear right now? Is there another song I should be playing other than this one? So I have the fear they're going to walk out and go to the bathroom. Not because they don't like me, but because I'm not playing what they want to hear.
Right.
And it's the blessing and the curse of having 8-9 albums and so many songs being so different. It's not like I get up there and I know and I also don't love playing the hits. Sometimes what makes a hit lacks a little bit of song fabric that you can work with every single night.
Right.
And if I don't play something that it goes both ways, right? If I'm playing Daughters, if I'm playing Waiting on the World to Change, I will say to myself, they don't want to hear this. This is all played out. This is just a hit song that used to be on the radio. No one cares anymore. I should be playing something a little deeper, something a little more texture. Then I play that, and in the middle of playing that, I go, they're going to walk out. They came here. They got babysitters. They want to hear the songs that made me famous. So I can't ever, as I'm playing, find that happy place where I'm like, they're fine. Don't you think it comes down to like, they're fine out there. They can handle themselves.
Right.
They're okay. Don't worry. If the audience could tell you one thing, it would be, we're fine.
Also,
have fun.
it took me a while to learn this, but audiences, there's something about a group think. Audiences as a group are highly intelligent. It's one organism. Like when you get that many people together and they smell things, and if they sense, and one of the things and it may be true in music too, but in comedy, they're just, a lot of times they're looking for confidence. Do you have the confidence are you worthy of our time?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what you're doing, and can you lead with authority?
Music, it's, are you having a good time doing this?
Yeah. And in comedy too.
Yeah. They would hate to know. If I got on stage and said to the crowd, it's so good to see you because I have a really bad headache. Oof. And then I went and played the show, they would probably develop like, sympathetic pain in there, or they'd go, oh, he has a headache.
Well, for years for the whatever 28, 30 years of doing late night television, my heart would sink when a guest would come out and they're doing okay, and then they'd say, these stories suck. In front of the audience.
Yes.
And the audience, I would always say afterwards, I mean, I wouldn't lecture them. They would,
right,
because that sounds stupid. But I'd be thinking to myself, the audience was okay
until you.
My job is to let the audience know that this is just exactly the interview I wanted,
mm-hmm.
whether it is or it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute you turn to them and say, you just bought a lemon of a car.
Yes.
That Datsun I just sold you sucks.
Yes.
I know there's not.
You are the spiritual leader of them.
Yeah.
That's why if you break a guitar string, most people in the audience don't know how insignificant breaking a guitar string is. They think you might have broken the instrument. Right. And if you go, then they go,
Yeah.
If you play right through it, they don't even notice after that. I never apologize. I've seen artists apologize on stage, and I've told them myself, never apologize from the stage.
Right.
I'm sorry. I have a cold tonight.
You're not getting my best show.
Never ever say
No. You have to. I mean, this is all very elemental stuff, but it's so fascinating to me that I love that it's true in comedy. It's true in music. It's probably true in business. It's probably. I mean, it's a very. I think cult leaders don't say, I'm sorry, that thing I said last week about, I have an angel is going to come and he's going to be wearing goggles. It's not goggles. I misheard the angel. The angel will be adept at Google is what I meant, Yeah, it's authority. And sadly, I think it works in politics too, where someone who you think is a complete idiot, if they say things with great authority over and over and over again, and I'm not naming names, but I think we know that we're all talking about Gerald Ford.
Well, listen, I've said before, if
you're not a Ford guy either, good, because we got to take him down.
If Donald Trump weren't saying the things he was saying,
right,
and was saying things, let's say, that were benign,
mm-hmm.
he would have a lovely speaking voice.
Yeah,
he could have narrated Royal Tenenbaums. And it would be great.
Oh man, I'm just imagining that. And
Someone can use AI. I'm sure a fastidious fan of yours will use AI
and have Donald Trump narrate,
and
Royal
it wouldn't
Tenenbaums.
be terrible.
Wouldn't be terrible is my benchmark. You just described. That's our best review. It's funny because a couple of weeks ago, I had the honor very recently of going to talk to President Biden, and I'm a huge, presidential history buff. And he was lovely to me, and we had a very nice conversation that wasn't really that political at all. One of the things I noticed is that he speaks quietly, but what he's saying was great. It was a terrific conversation.
Yeah.
And he has a quieter speaking voice. And then I noticed, I think people, as opposed to say a Trump who can say crazy things like, aardvarks should mate with zebras, and but he says it loudly,
right,
and everyone goes, "That's a leader."
Right.
And I think to myself, he just said aardvarks should mate with another species.
I like
I'm
when
not
he reads from the teleprompter and reacts to the teleprompter as he's speaking. And aardvarks should be mating with zebras. And they should be mating. He's sort of reading for the first time. And you can always feel the binary of when he's going, oh, yeah.
They should be. Oh,
he's reacting.
It's a good one.
And they should be. They should be mating. And then he goes back and he's reading, and they should. And he goes back. I just love the moment he realizes what he's reading.
Yeah.
And reacts to it in real time.
It'd be funny if they just put a recipe in there, and he was just so he's talking about like, and we're gonna do this about the border, and another thing, if you're making buttermilk biscuits, a quarter
at high altitude, one egg only.
One egg only.
Only takes one egg.
They should put the script to Royal Tenenbaums in there.
But I like he's going like just one egg, because it's a higher altitude.
It's a higher altitude.
So
and then he goes
cooks
back,
at
and you can
different
feel him go back.
Yeah.
But
a little bit of honey in with the because it adds sweetness. It does. Add sweetness to the biscuit.
Hello there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I am the aforementioned Conan O'Brien. Joined, I believe that these should be a little more formal. Joined by the erstwhile.
I'm the aforementioned friend, buddy.
No, you're no friend of mine.
He needs you.
You are an appendage. You are a necessary part in a very large car. A small, greasy part, but still a part.
Necessary.
Matt Gourley. And then, of course, yes, you are necessary. Without you, the transmission
It's
would...
too late. I quit.
Yeah.
The car broke down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wait, I just replaced it with a different part, and it's humming along even better than before.
I'm free! Leave me on the road!
I'm the useless part on the car.
No, of course not. These are all just jests, jibes, joshes, and jokeroos. I'm just kidding with you there, Sona. You look good. Man, your hair bun, and let me describe to the listener right now, it's really high.
Is it?
Yeah, and your headset is pushed up against it.
I have coils in it.
Why do you have coils in there?
It can put my hair in a bun without messing up my curls.
You know what's fun?
Isn't that crazy?
Look at that.
Well, look at that.
Yeah, there's two of them holding them together.
Good Lord.
Don't make jokes about like how like greasy it is and stuff.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that.
So much product
You already called me greasy. So.
Doesn't this look like a Victorian birth control device?
It is.
It does. It's a weird spring.
That's how my first child was not conceived.
You've kept track of all the children that have not been conceived over the years for different reasons?
Yeah.
The billions and billions of them? Okay, you're taking a lot of metal out of your hair. Are you okay?
Yeah.
What's happening? How do you get through an airport detector?
You have a Saturday night special in there.
Yeah.
You told me about my hair being up.
You have an early printing press in there. You can keep so much stuff in that. That thick hair of yours can conceal so
Just a
much.
vein of iron ore.
Yeah.
It's just two coils.
Look, a late 50s Japanese robot just came out.
Kaiju!
Oh, stop it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I got a lot. There's a lot in there.
There's a lot in there.
Yeah, you're one to talk about hair being high, though.
Yes.
You're two high hairers over here.
We are.
I'm a low hair guy.
You are.
Yeah, I got no body.
That's right.
And I got nobody.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
I ain't got no friends.
Corley. That's not true. Do you have friends? I actually don't know if you have friends.
You've asked me this before. Yes, I have.
But seriously, who are they?
What do you mean?
You say
I got
you have
Jimmy
friends.
Blade. I got J-Town.
Yeah.
I got Malarkey
You
McConville.
got Bill, etc. You don't have any friends, do
Do you
you?
have bros? Do you have like a crew?
Well, we're not bros.
You guys don't like.
We don't fall in bro class.
But do you have friends?
Yes, of course I have friends. I have great friends.
No, but you say that, and then fake names come out, and you do jokes to divert. Do you really have friends?
Yes, and those aren't fake names. They're nicknames, but they're the nicknames of my best friends.
That was not.
Your bros, your entourage. That's what bros do. Is they give each other nicknames.
Not these bros. These are. We're not bros. We're like boon companions.
Yes.
Yeah. We're just pals. We're buddies. We call each other buddies. Hi, buddy.
All right.
That's nice. Do you have nicknames for your crew?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Do you?
No.
Yeah.
What are your nicknames for your crew?
One is awful. I've been calling her Piss since we were 12.
Oh, I remember this because at your book event, she said, hi, what's her real name?
Christina.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that.
How do you
because
get
she
Piss
said,
from Christina?
Well, it was amazing because she said, hi, I'm Christina. You probably know me as Piss.
So why do you call her Piss?
We were 12, and I accidentally said, I was going to say Chris, and I said Piss instead. And I was like, oh my God, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. And then I just called her Piss forever.
It's great.
She saved under my phone as piss. When my parents are like, I say, oh, Christina's coming over. They're like, piss? I was like, yeah. And everyone just knows her as piss. It's awful. And she has 2 kids now, so I'm trying to stop calling her piss, but it's stuck.
Yeah.
It's solid. That's a solid nickname.
That's a good nickname.
Yeah.
Is it?
Piss. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
not good.
Well, it's better than urine.
Yeah, that's true.
2 syllables.
Has she ever gone on like a Loveline radio show connection thing and go like, I'd love to send a song out to Brian. Would you tell him that Piss loves her?
She won't refer to herself as piss.
She did when I met her.
That's true, but I think that's because she knows you're meeting her in my context.
I was in a bookstore yesterday and I saw Sona's book, and this is a legitimate bookstore.
What the hell
I was
does
stunned.
that mean?
And I held up the book and said, oh my God, my assistant wrote a book about me. And the woman who runs the bookstore said, are you okay with that? And she thought it was, like a mean tell-all. And I said, yeah, it's all pretty truthful, sure. But the woman who ran the bookstore was really horrified.
Oh.
Are you talking about this New York Times best-selling book?
Yeah, it's New York Times bestseller.
It's incredible.
Does it anger you that I am a New York Times bestseller?
No,
You're not.
because you got in under a special category.
What do you mean?
Immigrant writing.
Okay, that's not. I'm not even an immigrant. That's not even a category. What are you talking about?
It is. That's yeah.
No, you can't make things up to make it make more sense.
No, I am very proud of you, Sona. You know
there's
that.
something legitimately wrong that I am, and you haven't yet. Like, you will eventually.
Well, first of all, yes. Whenever I decide to write my tome, it'll immediately rocket to the top of the charts.
It will. I really. If mine did, just off of your back, I'm just saying it.
It's a very funny book.
Yes.
You just and listen. I do not begrudge you any of your success.
Not at all.
But this is ironic, and it felt like you would approve. I shoplifted the book.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
Shoplifted
Great
it.
idea.
Yeah, and then the old woman caught me on my way out, so I struck her several times and ran, and now I'm wanted.
You could never shoplift.
I could never beat up an old woman.
I know that.
She'd
that
tear my
part
head.
I was like,
She'd
oh, that
tear
makes
my
sense.
head off. I swung at her. She ducked and she said, "Come at me, swizzle stick."
I found the shoplifting part more strange than you beating up a woman.
I know that wouldn't
old
happen.
lady.
Yeah. Hey there. Welcome to Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, podcast that gives much more than it ever takes. Don't know what that means?
Yeah.
Just said it.
What do you mean?
I put no thought into these introductions. Sona, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Your leg is going a little fast today.
I know.
Are
Why?
you nervous about something?
Yeah, I'm really scared to be here.
Well, I don't know. You might be nervous. Your leg is going like a jackhammer.
Can I be honest? I think I had too much chocolate before we recorded, and I really think it's like sugar is pumping through my
We all
veins.
had a different place at this round table that I grew up at in our kitchen, and my seat was next to my mother. My mother was to my right, so I was on her left. And I have a jiggly leg.
Yeah,
I
you have
can see
restless
it going
leg
right.
syndrome.
Restless leg, and it goes like a jackhammer. And my mother used to just grab it like a vice and squeeze it and go, "Don't do that. People will think something's wrong with you."
Oh, no.
Yes. Yeah, and so we cleared that up. No one's ever thought something's wrong with me.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was that one thing.
Yeah. She didn't tell me don't make 900,000 hours of crazy fucked up content and put it all over the internet. I kept that leg still. Maybe if the leg was going, I'd be perfectly normal.
Maybe you should get a full leg cast, like a cast iron cast on your leg.
Or
then your whole body would start going.
Fake legs so that my torso goes through. My torso's there, but then I just have fake. And then I could like add calf muscles, make them more attractive.
Where are your legs?
Where are your normal legs?
Where
How
are
do you
your
get
real
around?
legs?
I don't know. I would have them removed.
Oh, it's not like they're hidden?
I should have had them hidden, and I don't know why I went to removed.
Yeah.
So extreme.
I question that.
That's a bad idea.
I don't know. I'm going ahead with it anyway.
So this is always.
Yes, I've always had a restless leg, and I don't know why I called you out on yours because you really don't. You're
I
calm
don't
most
have
of the
one.
time.
I'm usually chill.
What about you, Gourley? Do you have any tics like that or any
Well,
leg
I have
stuff?
that actual restless legs condition at night when you get those horrible restless legs.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
It's like a syndrome. It's a thing where you get like pins and needles and you can't sleep and your legs feel crazy?
Oh, that sounds serious.
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
okay?
I probably not.
Well, you should get checked out.
I have. There's nothing can be done about it. It's neurological. They don't know what causes it. I didn't mean
so
to
when
bring
you
this down.
lay
I'm
down,
fine.
your legs have pins and needles?
Yeah, or they feel like they're like half asleep, but you got to move them, even though that doesn't really help.
Okay, I'm going to ask our listeners if there is a doctor listening or someone who knows about this condition. Could you please contact us because there might be something going on here.
How do they contact us?
I'm sure Eduardo will tell us.
There's a phone number that they can leave a voicemail on.
I've spoken to my doctor.
I
It's
love
okay.
that. I love that we're a podcast that has a phone number. There's a phone number. 1555 Wrigley 22. You've spoken to a doctor.
I have, yeah.
Was it a good doctor or like some sort of kooky doctor that you might have?
It was a witch doctor.
I thought so.
No, it was my doctor, my general practitioner. Everything's fine. Don't. It's no one should have any concern.
Well,
I know.
you're kept awake at night by pins and needles feelings in your legs. Don't go away. It's interesting. I don't know what that is. What if it just turns out you guys have termites?
Oh,
It's
no.
just an
You're being
infestation.
eaten.
Yeah, you're really being eaten alive as you lay in bed.
At least
That's
there'd
the
be
problem.
a solution. I'd take it.
I have an itchy back, like my right shoulder blade. And recently, my dermatologist said there's absolutely nothing there, and it's just neurological. It's an itch that isn't there. It's a phantom itch. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Do you have a back scratcher?
We did have one.
Then he
and
fired
then
him.
What's that?
He fired him.
I found out it's illegal to pay a man that little to scratch your back. The Better Business Bureau got involved. No, I think my wife found one, and then it disappeared. And now I swear to God, we'll be watching TV at night, and I'll stand up, get off the couch, go over to the wall, find a corner, and I'm like a
God.
bear in the
Yeah.
woods. I start raking my back across the edge of a doorway.
Whoa.
And I'm told it's quite common. It's something that happens. It's neurological. It's not real, but it feels real to me.
We're fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is why we've been driven to this gig, I think.
You both have things that like are really not diagnosable. They're just neurological.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well, I don't know. You might have stuff too. I don't think. Do you go to a doctor and stuff?
What do you mean?
I don't know. I know that your parents are very old school. Yes.
They are old school.
And you tell me all the time that your father grew up in a village.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so I don't know if you grew up. I mean, I don't know what happened.
Did they what?
Did you grow up in a small village?
Okay, you know what? We weren't as dependent on doctors as a lot of people are, but maybe that's a good thing.
Sure.
But I don't think I have anything with my body that's like a neurological thing. I mean, I feel like you guys like that should be more concerning, but you're both like, whatever.
When you say it's not a bad thing that you never went to the doctor as a child.
Yeah.
I said we didn't rely on doctors as much as a lot of
You
people.
said dependent, and that's not
Yeah.
a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's
But
not
the first
bad
time I
to
met
have
your
to,
dad,
like-
I noticed that he has a pipe going through his head. And I said, well, what about that pipe? And he went, oh, it'll go away on its own. He said, this truck ahead of me dropped this off on the highway. It went through my head. 1969. But it'll be okay.
Why do you pick on my dad
I
so
love
much?
your dad.
I know.
He's got the best mustache I've ever seen.
My dad's the best.
What would their remedy be for his neurological phantom itch?
Yeah. What would your mom say to do? Because I do
Um,
trust she has some old like folk remedies.
She does have, she's very much in the old sort of like voodoo thing. Like when we wanted to have babies, I think I told you,
Yeah.
she like buried a baby under a bush.
I like
Not
it.
a real
wait,
not
she
a
buried
real
a baby?
Not a real
What
baby.
the
Sounds like she should have just given you the baby.
Wait a minute,
Why
wait a minute,
didn't
wait
she
a minute.
give you the baby?
Wait a minute.
A baby doll. And
What?
guess
So
what?
you've gotta-
It'll work.
Can I say something? You've got to say that.
Okay.
You've got to say that was so upsetting.
You did bury the lead.
You
and
that's
the
so
baby.
upsetting. We really wanted a baby, so she buried a baby in the backyard. What a monster.
Yeah, no, it was under a bush.
It was a baby doll.
It was a doll. She buried a doll under a bush.
Was it one of the? Is it a talking doll?
No, once we had the boys, she was like, it's done. It worked.
Can I say something? I was by your house, remember the last time, and I was walking around the backyard, and I stepped on a loose piece of grass, and I heard, "Mama, Mama."
That baby's still alive.
No, it's a talking baby.
Where is
One of
this
those-
baby? So somewhere there's just a dirt crusted baby sitting in your mom's house, or
Yeah.
Probably hundreds of them.
God.
Yeah,
Blue
for,
Mouse, are you
for
listening?
every day that Sona was married. For every day Sona was married, she would do it. 900 plastic baby dolls were stolen yesterday from a Walmart, plus a shovel. If police find either one, please report.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, they would. I really think you two need to figure out why these things are happening to your bodies.
I think we should talk to your mom.
Yeah.
I think my mom could fix it.
Can we have her in?
Yeah. Your mother, because I've noticed in the past when I have not felt well, you have told me, oh, here's what my mom would do, and it sounds pretty cool. Like your mom has good. I'm saying this. It sounds like she has really good remedies for some things. The burying the plastic baby.
There's a few missteps, but for the most part, she's been pretty. Like my brother and I are pretty healthy people. Like we're okay. We're alive.
Yeah, you don't sound convincing.
Yeah, we're alive.
Well, okay, Mr. Needle Legs and weird itch on my back.
Phantom itch.
Restless legs, thank you very much.
Restless leg and
you two
phantom
are fucked
itch.
up, and you're getting mad at me because of the way I'm dealing with my
We
body
never got
shit.
mad at you,
We didn't
and
get
we're
mad
not
at you.
Yeah,
fucked up.
you come from a very judgy place.
I don't think so.
Yes, you are. You're coming from a very
This
judgy
whole thing
place.
started with you going, you guys need to get that fucking checked out.
Yeah. You went from telling us you got to get that fucking checked out to my mother buried a baby in the backyard.
That we're allowed to judge, by the way.
By the way, that some judgment is in order. I think.
It worked.
Like
I have
the
two
sentencing.
How do you think my 2 children happened? You think that just
Well,
happened?
I have a theory. Did she bury 2
no,
boy
just one.
baby dolls?
She just wanted children of some kind. I don't think it matters how many you bury.
How does this work if you're like, I really want a turkey sandwich? Do you just bury a turkey sandwich?
Oh my God. No, you just go get a turkey sandwich, Matt. That's how it works.
Okay.
No, you have to bury that sandwich, then hope another sandwich
what?
comes. And then when that sandwich doesn't come, you have to buy that sandwich and bury it. You die of starvation with 900 turkey sandwiches buried underneath the ground.
Go rub your back on the wall.
Go rub your back.
Go rub your back. I love that put down. Go rub your. You know, true story. My mother, if she was losing an argument to one of my sisters, and I swear to God I was there for this, she said, go wash your face. I heard this in like 1970. One of my sisters was going like, no, but Mom, I don't. She was like, go wash your face. Go wash your face.
There's a Shakespearean one that's go taste your legs, which means like use your legs, run away, go away.
I see. Make use of your legs. I like go wash your face.
I'm going to use go wash your face.
I'm going to use that on Liza next time she's
don't
talking
use that
to me.
on Liza.
Next time she's saying, how dare you smash all the dishes in the kitchen, which I do occasionally.
Oh.
It's sort of like a Zorba the Greek thing, like, yay, Zorba.
It is good luck.
Yeah. And then she gets mad at me. I'm gonna go go wash your face. I'm gonna try it and see how it works.
No, I don't want you to say it to Liza, but I want to definitely say it to someone.
Go bury a baby.
Go bury the baby.
Okay.
Dark, very dark.
It is dark.
You got to say
Doll.
plastic baby or baby doll.
Yeah.
Which is not what you did.
I know. I should have said that.
Well, your own fault. Anyway, the question is, next year, what's it going to be?
No, what do we do?
We're going to do this again?
Oh, yeah. We're going on a trip.
Next year, I am
fans
not,
demand it.
I am not drinking next year.
What?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Why can't we all just take an edible? That'll be fun.
Oh, okay, we could do that. I say we take an edible or mushrooms and go to Vegas.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good.
And I hate Vegas.
I have never.
I love
I don't do
Vegas.
edibles or mushrooms.
Oh.
Well, I mean, tell me about mushrooms. Would that be a good experience for me? I honestly don't know.
I don't know. I've never done them.
I bought them once, but couldn't carve out enough time to do them, so I've never done them either.
I've microdosed and it just made me nauseous.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Some people get that, but I'll do it.
Oh, we could do. Is Molly illegal? How about heroin? That's
Heroin's
cool,
illegal.
right? We can do over-the-counter heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I love when Sona said, "I bought these drugs, but I didn't carve out the time." I thought, I love a drug addict who's just a poor planner
and so busy.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, did you get the stuff? I did. I got the stuff. I got the black tar heroin. Yeah. Did you get the spoon? Fuck.
And I really
Did you
have
get the
my
spoon?
taxes to do. I can't fit this in.
No. And then I got to get the kids to the pool.
Promised.
And then I have
promised
to...
I get the accurate of the mechanic. For
yeah.
my
No.
husband.
I still don't know what that knocking sound is. Yeah, but what about the stuff? Huh?
We'll get to that later. Can we just do it later?
Yeah. Just table it.
Yeah. Did you get the rubber thing that ties off the... No. I figured we'd have that around the house. Look, we can't do this now. My mother-in-law's here in half an hour. Did you fix the hole in the beanbag chair? No. All right. Well, listen, I had a good time. I do enjoy you guys, and I do want to say thank you to Matt, because you did a lot of the work. So you made a great drink.
Oh, I just
Your
did the
lovely
drink.
wife helped out.
Yeah, Sarah and Amanda and all.
Sarah was
the
a big
crew.
help. There's a whole crew of people
I know.
helping
Our
out.
crew is the best crew. I think.
Lay, I mean, a lot of people deserve a shout out. Eduardo, you were there.
Mikey, Josh for shooting the video. Chills.
Oh, and the solo stove guys who made us those
You know what I have to
pizza.
say?
Sarah Federovich, right?
I know we don't even have to mention it because it's not required. But those solo stove, the people that brought that pizza oven, they did an amazing job.
Yeah,
and they were very nice
too. I want my pizza. solo stove.
DG and Chris.
Is there still a solo stove here for me to take home?
No, that one stays at the building. You have to go out and buy your own.
No, I was promised a solo stove. That's the only reason I did this.
No, you thought you were promised a solo stove.
I did.
What I told you was have another drink.
Oh.
Okay. You misinterpreted that.
Snookered again.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you're enjoying your summer.
It's like that's like one of those yearbook.
What is it?
Like when people sign yearbooks. Have a good summer.
What's some-
KIT.
With some guilt involved. Like I hope
I
you
know.
like
you're enjoying your summer.
Assholes.
Hope you're enjoying your summer with the world, the state it's in. That's what I want it to sound like. Hey, hope you're having a good time. Canada's on fire.
Oh.
Enjoy your summer, asshole. I've got to go rob a bank.
Can I tell you something though? I've been dying to bring this up with you. Just how your comment section, which I'm not sure if you read or not.
I don't read comments.
All right,
no.
I read your comments, and is the most humbling comment section for me ever.
Why?
Because the first time I did your show, I was very nervous, and you were wonderful, and you guys shot me well. You know, you shot me kind of low angle, and I looked good, and it was a decent set. You know, God was kind, and all the comments were like, "He's doing well. He's making us proud." And then at the end of it, you came and stood next to me on stage, and we looked like Frodo and Gandalf together. And the entire comment section, you can just see them go, "This fucking guy," right? So we just looked like a pencil and a rubber together. It was terrible.
It didn't help that I was wearing an eraser on my head too. I apologize for that. No, you were hilarious right away, and I would say the gift of getting to do a late night show for all those years was meeting so many people that are funny in different ways.
Yeah.
And then being able to reach out to you and say, would you come by and do the podcast and get to see you, is it's joyous. I mean, that's a joy for me. It really is very meaningful.
Well, credit where it's due. I don't think anybody has championed more different comics and started more different careers than you have through late night. So I must give you that credit. The reason your show was the first thing I ever did in the States. I'd never done anything. Even my Netflix special was shot abroad. And so that was my introduction. So it really kicked everything off, that 5 minutes. It really was a powerful thing, and I'm grateful.
You are welcome here anytime. You won't be paid. That's the best part. And you'll probably have to wait in an immigration line.
Yes, done.
For a very long time. Well, this is a huge treat. Let me just make sure that I mention what's coming up next, just so that I do that.
Well, just Veerdas Landing. It's the new special on Netflix, so please watch that. And I think I'll be touring the States March 1st onwards. So it's veerdas.in is my site. So virdas.in. And there'll be some tour dates there.
All
And
right.
I think that's that.
I can't wait to see. I have not seen the special. I can't wait to see it. When's it drop, as the kids say?
It has dropped.
It has dropped.
As the kids, I don't know what kids say. I was
Kids don't say any of this.
Kids don't say. It's
Yeah.
just one emoji and a frown is what kids say.
I get a lot of poop emojis. Veerdas Landing is out now, and I'm a huge fan and an admirer of your approach. And mad respect. And thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having
Seriously,
me, guys. I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.